Happy 20... What? What's up, guys? It's True, and I'm back to start the year right with another video. Happy New Year's. So, I went to the premiere of this guy, Scream, one of my favorite, if not, I can be completely lying to you guys, but I'm not. Top 5, in the top 5, but Scream is definitely top 1 favorite movies in life. Wes Craven is a genius, and the way that they did this Scream re-franchising with the movie that just came out, Scream 2022, the way that they honored Wes was just such an amazing way. So without further ado, let's jump right on into it. This is going to be a spoiler review of Scream 2022. So if you don't want to get spoiled, or if you haven't watched the movie yet, I'd rather you just go cut this video, go to the movie theaters to see it, or just take my review. I mean, it's an honest review, so why not? We jump into the movie with the opening, usually, which is the opening kill, like in every other Scream movie. Drew Barrymore started it off, and she's done it perfectly. Then Scream 2 with Jada Pinkett Smith. Scream 3 with what's his name? The one who was accused of killing Sydney's mom, with him and his wife. And then Scream 4 was with the whole like stab franchise movies. Oh no, Marnie and her friend. So we open this one up with Tara, the character, which is Sam's sister. Tara is played by Jenna Ortega, and let me jump straight in. Jenna Ortega does an amazing job at acting in this movie, like chef kiss. Like, she captivated me every time she got on the screen. Her and a character that I'm gonna tell you about later. So we get into her like answering the phone, talking to her, who she doesn't know is Ghostface, and talking about how she likes the new elevated horror movies like The Babadook, Get Out, Witch, and stuff, as etc., etc. And she's just not really a fan of stab movies. So when she finds out that the guy is like questioning her about the movies and stuff, she gets panicked. She starts panicking and start hitting up her friend Amber, which, you know, I don't know how they cloned the phone. I mean, I don't know how they do that, but they did that, and they go back and forth between locking and unlocking her house doors. He gets in the house, brutally like stabs her a few times, and breaks her leg. And just before he finishes, like, the cops come. Backtrack, we also find out Tara has asthma. I declare that one of the best Scream openings is definitely up there with Drew Barrymore. Like, it's a close first. So we get into meeting the characters. We meet her sister Sam. We meet her boyfriend Richie, who lives in like a different town. Then we meet Wes. We meet Mindy. Wes is actually Judy Hicks from Scream 4's son. Mindy and Chad, which are twins. Martha Meeks, which is Randy's sister, who was in Scream 2. She has twins who are in the movie. Chad is like really hot. Mindy is too. Like, two of the hottest characters in the movie. We meet Amber, who is Tara's like close friend, I guess her best friend. She comes over like she doesn't like her sister Sam. She feels like her sister should never left Tara alone all them years when her mom was a drunk and ended up leaving, or she died. I'm not exactly sure. I know their father left them. Vince is this character, this off character, who is Liv boyfriend, Liv hookup guy back in the day before she dated Chad. And Chad and him is always going back and forth. So they get to the club, they go back and forth at this like bar, and he goes outside, he gets kicked out, goes outside, Scream kills him like very quick, very early on. It's like the first 10 minutes, it felt like. We meet Liv, who is Chad's girlfriend, and then Like I don't know if anybody caught it, but when they was driving into Woodsboro, Sam, and then when they found out that Tara was attacked, Sam and Richie were driving into Woodsboro, and you see the street, it said Elm Street. It was like a little nod to Wes Craven, because he was also the creator of Nightmare on Elm Street, which is also in my top 5 movies. Definitely recommend if you're a horror fan. We find out like everybody has a past or is related to the past from like the originals or anything of Scream, from the franchise pretty much. We find out the big secret, which is Billy fucking Loomis is Sam's father. He had a baby with this lady who's Sam and Tara's mom, and Sam found out and confronted her mom, which caused her dad to leave. Well, her dad. But Billy Loomis died because Sydney, in Scream 1. Dewey makes an appearance, and Sam is begging for his help. Like, it was like seeing like the original like 3 come onto the screen one by one. You just was like, like it felt so good. Like, Dewey came in. We found out that he's no longer the sheriff of Woodsboro. And then he calls Sydney, and which she's married to Mark, who I'm thinking is Mark Kincaid, which was amazing throwback to the older movies in the franchise. And then he texts his gal. He sees her on TV, like she's a reporter for the news. Everything was just so captivating, and everything just felt so nostalgic. And then, oh my god, like every parts of the movie they played the scores, and it was scores from like Scream 3, Scream 2, Scream 1. Like you hear it, and it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Judy was tricked by Ghostface, and he took her out. Like, she tried to save her son, and he basically tricked her like, oh, I'm gonna kill your son if you don't get here, and something like da-da-da-da. So she made it. He killed her, and I don't know how the fuck did Ghostface kill Judy, a sheriff of Woodsboro, in broad fucking daylight. How? I don't know. In front of her house, in broad daylight. And I was like, what the hell? Where the people at? Like, this town already got killings happening. People, news reporters, everybody is reporting it, but he kills her in front of her house, a sheriff at that. And she already called to get like the cops to come there. So then Wes is in the house by himself. He gets killed. Like, it was very quick for him, and I was like, oh, like he could have had a better death. He's probably like one of the only ones in the movie where I feel like he could have had a better death, because he felt like a character that was interesting to get to know, but we didn't get to know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Gail comes on the screen. Courtney Cox looks fabulous. So we get to the party, like Act 3. Chad and Liv are making out downstairs. She wants to go upstairs to have sex with him, and he's like, no, like he want to pass because he don't really know if she's not the killer. And Mindy is like her Uncle Randy. She knows a lot about the metas and the rules inside within scary movies or within horror franchises and things of that nature. She's very smart. That's why I like her. She's the other character that I like. Chad goes outside to find Liv because she storms off. He downloads this app. Chad gets brutally stabbed for what we thought was like, oh, he's gone. I felt so bad. Which Chad is played by Cuba's Gooding Jr. son. I didn't even know the guy had a son. When Tara couldn't find her inhaler, they end up going to what's her name? Amber's house, because Amber's Tara's best friend. So she was like, I have an extra inhaler in my house. So they go there. Richie doesn't want to go. It's just a whole bunch of BS back and forth. And at this point, I was like, this has to be a plan, because they about to leave town. And they was like, no, this whole thing has to do with Sam. They had this very amazing scene with Mindy Cheeks reenacting her uncle while she's watching the movie, a stab movie that portrays her uncle. And it's like, she's like, no, look around, look behind you, uncle. Like, he's behind you. You need to look behind you. But meanwhile, Ghostface is coming up behind her. So it's like, no, look behind you. So she ends up looking, gets stabbed, and I'm like, so Sam and them, they go help her. Sydney and Gail is on the way to Sydney put a track on Sam's car. So they on the way, they get there. They're all at Stu's house. Mind you, Amber lives in Stu's old house. You guys all are being attacked. I think, yeah, they're all being attacked. The only one that hasn't been attacked yet was Liv. So I'm like, okay, Liv, and Amber. So I'm like, these two girls are very suspect, but girls can't really give that much strength. From their stature, it was like, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. Liv comes back in the house like, I can't find Chad, so everybody's freaking out because they're like, girl, you're the killer. Like, Liv, you might be the killer. So while they're arguing, Amber, like, just, like, Liv, calm down. Pulls out a gun and shoots her in her fucking head like, I'm the killer. And I'm like, what the? Like, I'm like, this shit is beyond me. Like, this is crazy. Like, you just whipped out a gun in mid-sentence and shot her point blank. We found out the other killer is Richie, the classic boyfriend move, which I was kind of like, because it was just like, it's like, it feel like it's always the boyfriend. Screen 1, Billy Loomis, the boyfriend. This one, the boyfriend. And the TV show, the boyfriend. So it's like, I need something new. Amber ran outside, shot Gail. And, you know, she comes back in and they tussle and find out that they're fanatic fans of horror movies. Felt like the last Stab movie, Stab 8, wasn't good, so they wanted to redo it. And they met on Reddit. And I was like, oh, this shit is like crazy. Like, but it's really with today's generation. Like, the fans get crazy 10 minutes on Twitter. Next thing you know, like, you're canceled, like, because you said that you disagreed and that you think their movie or their favorite movie is trash. That's today's world. That's where we live in at. Earth is very ghetto. I'm sorry. The movie was, I'd definitely give it probably like an 8.5, a very close 8.7, very close 9 out of 10. Just because of the fact it felt like it brought me back to Scream 1 when I first got introduced into the franchise, but it was so refreshing that it was like for a whole new generation. The characters that lived, I was happy to see them live. Like, so it was just like, it was like a fan service movie, and it was a very nice payoff and admiration for Wes Craven, and I was happy for it. I was happy leaving the movie. I was happy going in to see it. I'm just happy to be just a Scream franchise fan in general, a Wes Craven fan in general. Wes Craven is a horror icon, so I know he's very proud. R.I.P. to, you know, one of the greats. So with that being said, you know, like this video, subscribe, and also click that notification bell. That way you can stay up to date and get notifications when I drop more videos like this. Comment down below, what are you guys' favorite scary movies and why? And with that being said, I will catch you guys in another video. See you guys.